I like Saturday afternoons. Particularly when I've got everything done.
Your turn.
Oh, yeah.
One gets that gratifying feeling that one's duty has been done. From the gondoliers.
They'll never miss it, Mrs. Wagster. I used to enjoy Saturday afternoons in the old days.
Loosely translated, in the old days means before he was married.
Before I was happily married, how's that?
I like it better when you're nasty. Just one of those bells?
That now and then rings. Expecting?
No.
It'll be two men in white coats.
Play it cool, kid. Tell him you'll only go back to Elba if the Duke of Wellington says it's sorry.
7 races. In the 1:30 at York, they have 2 selections.
Hello, Mrs. We're from,
1:45 at Sandown.
There's something wrong, love? Anyway, we brought your bed. Are you sure there's nothing wrong?
No.
Well, this bed you've ordered, you are Mrs. Rumsey, aren't you?
Oh, no, I'm Mrs. Hawthorne.
Diane, sunshine, you've got the wrong domicile again. Sorry, miss. You know, we could never have had a D-Day for this generation. We'd have gone sailing past France and invaded Skegness.
Well, Mr. Rumsey does live here, though.
Oh, I see, Pet. Oh, well, we'll get quite a few of these days.
He lodges here.
I'm as broad-minded as most, miss, but I think this Mr. Rumsey is trying to give you a surprise with this bed. Because there's one or two unusual features about it, I'm told. Where's your bedroom, love? I mean, I've got the notification here. I've got to take away your old bed.
No, you see, if you take our old bed away, I'll have nowhere to sleep with my husband. Most people call him Karate Chop Chris, you know, looks like Clint Eastwood, acts like Lee Marvin.
Oh, I'm very sorry, missus. I mean, no offence meant.
Quite a lot taken.
Can I be of assistance, sir?
Hi. Hi.
Is there, something wrong with the paper?
Oh, no, no. Just feeling the texture, you know. It's nice, sort of turns you on.
Actually, that particular paper was blocked by hand.
Looks all right to me. Oh, yes, James Wilkinson, positive master of the linear composition.
Well, they're the printers, not the artists.
14 quid a roll, cutie pie, they're artists.
We usually sell that by the yard.
Yeah? Thought it was a giveaway, 14 quid. 14 pounds a roll. And again, it would be cheaper to pay for my wall with Axminster carpet.
Is it for the sitting room, sir? The living area?
Sleeping area.
Oh, the bedroom. Well, perhaps I might be able to help you.
Bit hesitant, that, you know. Perhaps I might be able to help you. Of course you can. You've got to be more positive. You've got to push your waistcoat up against the counter and sell.
I don't wear one.
You don't wear a waistcoat either. Now, what you should say, you should come over to me and say something like, may I compliment you, sir, on your knockout taste, and can I come round to your bedroom tonight and hold it up against the wall? Now, that's what you call salesmanship, you see, followed up, of course, with after-sales service. Do you work here full-time?
No, summer vacation.
You're an art student.
Second thoughts, you better not come back to my place.
All you left-wing student chicks are the same, suddenly self-conscious when they're in my Italian De Tomaso Pantera sports car.
8 cylinders.
Plus an 8-track stereo and a fantastic radio. Picks up pilots, you know, from the central control tower.
My radio does that.
Concorde? How did you know it had 8 cylinders?
I'm interested in car design and clothes and furniture.
Everything all right, Miss,
Karen.
being looked after, sir?
Yeah, it'll probably take about another 5 minutes.
Our aim at the top people's paper is solely to satisfy the individual tastes of our clientele.
I've got a fantastic new bed.
Oh, I'm sorry. But you know us art students. We're all crash pads and sleeping bags.
I wonder if Gav knows you need a heavy bed licence to drive one of these.
You'll have to put L plates up.
Yeah, and then find someone who's experienced.
I think it's the most disgusting contraption I've ever seen. It undulates. Look at it undulating and all that entails.
Sexy Susan rides again.
There are times when Gavin makes me feel absolutely sick. Like every day.
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, Felicity.
Oh, God knows when you are fibbing, Mrs. Wagstaff.
What does he need 2 beds for?
Variety. Variety is the vice of life.
You're over-obsessed.
A simple child of the welfare state, full of vitamin E and orange juice.
We've only got 1 bed.
It's one more than I thought we had.
My mother gave it to us. We sleep in it every night.
Oh, I thought that was a garage door you promised to look after for us.
It's not that bad.
It's not that bad at all. That's the trouble. It's very good. It's hard and uncomfortable and puts you off. Mind you, it does have one thing going for it, Mrs. Wagstaff. It makes the practice of the Christian virtues fairly easy.
I won't pretend to understand what that means.
It means that if we exported 10 million of them to India, they wouldn't be having a population explode.
And to think I gave you that bed out of the goodness of my heart.
And because the council said they'd charge you £2 to take it away, Mum.
Oh, well, I'm not going to sit here and be insulted by my own daughter.
Quite right, Mrs. Wagstaff. You get down here with me and undulate.
You have got sex on the brain.
So that's where it went to.
What do you think of it, eh?
Well, it's been so long, Gavin, I wouldn't know.
That's not bad, is it, eh?
Actually, I thought your old one was all right.
It was all right.
Well, it would do us, wouldn't it, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
You want to get yourself a decent bed, Fliss. Spend a third of your life in bed, you know.
Well, when you say in your case it was nearer 2/3, Gavin.
I like it, I like that.
Oh, well, if only ifs and ands were beds and pans.
What she means is, we'd love a new bed, but the trouble is we haven't got enough, oh, what's that stuff called again?
Money?
It's not going to work, kid.
Hey, I've still got some gruel left from yesterday. Shall I heat it up?
Oh! And it's my week for the bone.
Incidentally, you don't mind if I redecorate the room, do you? Doesn't quite match my eyes, this colour.
Don't worry about me, Gavin. It's just my front bedroom.
Might be rather difficult, that. New wallpaper.
Why?
Peeling it off when you go.
Oh, I wouldn't do that, mate. Just come to arrangement over the rent that week. The old bed, eh? Yeah, hey, I could fix you up there.
Honestly.
Yeah, when you go in on Monday morning, when you put a small ad in the paper for me, I mean, keep any commission they give you, you know.
Our ceiling is being shunned by flies.
Look, I agree it needs decorating, speaking on a practical level. But on a philosophical level, it doesn't. We spend 8 hours a day in this room in the dark and sleeping. For 2/3 of the day, all he got is unproductive wallpaper.
I'm sure a lot of people don't think of it quite like that, Chris. Oh, mind you, I agree with you about the bed, though.
Backbone of the empire, these beds. Beds like this found the source of the Nile and beat the fuzzy wuzzies.
We lost the empire.
I never said these beds were perfect. Mind you, if they hammered out a few of the wrinkles...
Are we expecting guests?
If you're not asleep, can I come in?
Do you promise to open the door first?
Oh, repartee.
He's brought his bumper phone book.
Bit difficult, this, Chris, but I was only kidding about the bed. I mean, you know, bed, I wanted to give it to you, but I didn't want to insult you with my old cast-off beds.
Oh, please insult us, Gavin. We like being insulted, don't we? Especially terrible insults like an insulting new bed.
Ah, that's a relief. I was wondering how you'd take it.
Right now. Carry it from your room into this one.
Right, well, I'll leave you to get your Zs in then, eh?
Yeah, anyway, thanks very much, mate.
Have you decided on a paper for your bedroom, Gavin?
Well, I've whittled it down to 3, actually. There's a sort of mimosa yellow with a biscuit background here. That's nice,
that'll
isn't
match
it?
your eyes.
And I quite like this bamboo weave. Now, you're not going to say that matches my eyes, are you?
No, only in the morning.
And voila, la piperou.
Oh, there are some nice papers here.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned the paper, Fliss, because I reckon the basic outlay with the bed and the paper would probably be about 985 quid plus VAT. Mind you, I'm not some fool and his money is soon parted, you know. I mean, basic outlay's one thing, but I'll cut down on things where I can, like decorating. Could cost me 80 quid, that room, you see.
Gonna do it yourself?
Well, I would if I could, Fliss, but, well, you know, I'm hopeless at that sort of thing. No, I was thinking more like you and Chris doing it. Anyway, I'll leave your new bed on the landing, OK? And just pick it up when you want. And keep the book, incidentally, if you're interested. And don't worry if things go bump in the night. Probably just my bed changing into top, eh?
I just don't believe all that.
Pardon?
He has just spent 985 quid plus VAT on an electronic hammock, and he's trying to save 80 quid on decorators.
Well, it won't take us long. Getting ready's the worst part, and once you're ready, it's as easy to do 2 rooms as one.
Oh, I see. We're going to chuck our bedroom in as well, are we?
Well, it is on the same floor.
We are doing craftsmen out of a job, and there is an unemployment problem.
You're just making excuses.
Desperately.
Gavin is giving us a new old bed.
It's blackmail.
Oh, it's tiring work, this.
Well, scraping the old paper off is always the hardest part.
I don't mind scraping the old paper off. It's the 14 layers behind it that are rather awkward. You know, that was another good thing about the wall. We used to decorate with distemper.
Wasn't there any wallpaper?
No, love. I think they made Spitfires out of it, or something. Isn't it time we stopped for a cup of tea?
Now?
We've been scraping this wall for almost 11 minutes.
Well, all right. Anyway, I've achieved the objective. I've scraped off enough to convince Chris that there's no going back.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I could be working at that for weeks. I think I'm down to the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The older generation just haven't got what it takes.
May I remind you that we have lived through 2 world wars?
One, Mother, and you spent most of that in the Ritz ballroom. Anyway, would you mind looking after the twins for me afterwards while I go out for a bit?
What's that got to do with the war?
Well, nothing, but it's got a lot to do with changing the subject.
Karen,
Oh, yes, Mr. Harty?
haven't you got something in your wardrobe that you wear for best? A little frock or something?
Oh, yes, Mr. Harty.
Would you mind wearing it in the shop?
Oh, I am, Mr. Harty.
Oh, good morning, sir. Can I be of... Oh, of course, you're Miss... Miss! Hey, it's, Mr...
Rumsey. C'est moi, Rumsey.
Harty.
Well, I rock up round about 3 o'clock.
Well, I'll leave you to,
I see you survived the weekend then?
Oh, shouldn't I have done?
Yeah, well, most girls sort of pine away when they haven't seen me for a couple of nights, you know. Well, don't worry, I'll make it up to you. Incidentally, I've organised this private life class back at my place tonight. We both strip off and draw one another. Undiscreetly place pads, of course. Miss Halliwell, our art teacher, said I had great promise. I used to make fantastic Father Christmases with coloured papers. Still, don't worry about me. All in fun. Not to mention deadly earnest.
Did you, look at the book?
Oh, yeah, read it from cover to cover. Tremendous plot. Bit weak on dialogue, I thought.
Oh. And you're going to tell me there's nothing there you fancy?
Why?
Because I desperately need the sale. I need the commission because Mr. Harty wants me out of these jeans and into something else.
Well, you're in luck, kid, because I've got this fantastic new bed.
I'm serious.
Now, look, I'm going to buy some of these papers, but I've got 3 possibilities.
Well, for me, this paper from Copenhagen is the ultimate design. If Modigliani had designed wallpapers, there's a Modigliani.
Yes, but your Modigliani on the paper isn't exactly your Modigliani on the wall, is it? Is he a local lad?
No.
I definitely think it needs an expert like yourself to come back to my place and make sure the paper is right.
Look, I hardly know you. I might end up like Modigliani.
Well, he seems to be doing all right.
Well, yes, but he's doing it dead.
Everything all right, Miss,
Oh, I'll come about 8 o'clock then.
Well, go on then. I've read this paragraph 4 times now.
Pardon?
You want to say something.
Didn't say I wanted to say something.
Look, why don't you just come right out with it?
It's only 7:10. Anyway, you don't want to know about my dull little day doing dull little things.
I do want to know how dull your life is.
Oh, if you weren't a married man, I'd have an affair with you. Sit on your knee.
Fliss, I know it sounds sceptical, but when you sit on my knee at 7:10, it's usually about money. And I mean spending it, not saving it.
Look at those shoes. I saved £2 in the spring sale. Should have been £3.50.
You didn't save anything, love. You just spent £2 less.
Oh, I'm glad I married a clever man. I had quite an interesting dull little day today. I went into Manchester. You want to know why, don't you?
No.
Well, I thought I'd go in and have a browse around.
Browse?
Well, I browsed one very nice wallpaper.
Where are you going now?
I browsed it back home with me. What do you think of it?
That is not browsing, Fliss. That is buying.
I got a discount. Saved a fortune.
I've just been into that. You haven't saved anything. You've just spent less.
100% less.
What, they're giving away wallpaper?
They're just off Deansgate.
Not for much longer. They're just about to move to Carey Street.
There was this smashing girl assistant in there, and she said she'd been told to get rid of a lot of rolls of paper that were cluttering up the stockroom or something. Well, there's nothing wrong with them. They're not shop soiled.
What, all this lot for nothing?
Who's a clever boy, then?
Hey, that's a good buy, that, Fliss. Well, you're halfway there. Thing to do now is to go back to Manchester and find a shop with a stockroom full of discontinued decorators.
I knew you'd be ready to go. It's that old Hawthorne spirit of get up and paste.
Oh, no, not tonight.
I've spent the whole day stripping. I'm a fantastic stripper.
Well, I'd rather do that. Let's do the decorating tomorrow.
If I can strip, you can paste.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll definitely do the decorating tomorrow.
You know what I mean.
I am only trying, sincerely trying, to avoid decorating. I am not a gifted decorator. I believe in every man to his own paste.
You're just afraid of hard work.
Of course I am. I've no staying power.
Hope you don't mind me bursting in, just trying to catch you at it.
Seriously, folks, I got my personal interior designer with me, very anxious to advise me on wallpaper. Are we having soup?
Is your interior designer a he, a she, or a not sure?
Ah. We've got a minute. I think Chris wants to examine your exterior design.
Hi. You're not,
Oh, no.
you're...
Yeah.
Oh, that's a...
Yeah. Do you think Stockport County will win the League Cup, like? I didn't know you knew Karen.
We met this afternoon.
Oh, you've been buying wallpaper.
Free samples.
89 rolls.
Well, that's how it goes, Gaff. Money can't buy me wallpaper.
That's Chris. He sold out to integrity and settled for poverty.
Oh, I like the deck chair. It's sort of pop art furniture.
Sort of property of Prostappen.
It's a super idea.
Hey, if you're knocked out by a deck chair, I'm not sure you're quite ready for my room, you know. I mean, it might arouse latent passions. You could be emotionally out of control by 7:20.
Well, better go, I suppose.
Don't think we're rude, it's just the Karen's dead keen, you understand?
You making a start tonight, then?
In the bedroom. Aren't we, darling?
Family who pays together, stays together, eh? Very sharp stuff, this, you know.
Well, don't you think it's time we went to your bedroom and got down to it?
Yeah. Can't keep a good man down. That's what you call a double entendre, you know. I've got something here that might interest an art student. Thin Lizzy.
My dad's got a no Ford. What's that?
That's the latest Model T record. Are you sure you're an art student? I mean, come on, be a bit quicker. This is very subtle stuff, you know, falling on stony ground.
What do you think?
Eh? Can you hold it a bit higher? Bit higher. Let's go a bit more. That's I like that. Yes, it sort of brings everything out in relief.
Yes, I thought it might, but, changing the subject slightly, what do you think of the wallpaper?
Excuse me, barging in, Gav.
No.
Thanks. Karen, can I ask you for a bit of expert advice? Well, how much gunge do you put on the paper before you put it on the wall? Only I've just done this one piece and it's like papering with a wet poultice.
Karen is my personal advisor on interior decor. She doesn't go in for guns.
Oh, it won't take a minute. We'll be right back.
Thanks a lot, Gav. You see, I can't quite get the hang of it. That's what they call a pun, you know. Sure you got that in the right speed? Oh.
Have you got a...
Oh, use mine.
Oh, thank you.
It's all right. Don't mind making a sacrifice.
Excuse me.
Fantastic new bed, isn't it? Realize, of course, you're the first, don't you? I mean, you actually launched it.
Yeah, you can't beat a night in decorating. Not to be said for being a do-it-yourself nut. Cheers, Gav.